Now, we got some time left, so it's time to talk a little bit about the NHL because, of course, the Islanders just lost a tough one to the Minnesota Wild. It was Zach Parisi's return to Minnesota. And remember, even though he started his career with the Devils, he was from Minnesota, which is why he went there when he became a free agent. So it was a bit emotional on from his angle. But the Islanders, 2 of those were empty netters. Okay, so still, make it, even if it's 3-2. Anders Lee scored 2 goals. Good.
He looked good.
And that was about the only good that came out of it because
Brock Nelson, I thought, looked good as well.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Minnesota scores 2 to go ahead and then 2 more empty netters.
Yeah.
And you seal the deal 5-2.
Partially, you could definitely argue, I think the road fatigue is there. The wear and tear, playing that back-to-back after defeating Winnipeg yesterday 2-0 and playing against Montreal 2 nights ago on Thursday. So,
they beat them up pretty good.
Exactly, right. They won 6-2 there, and Brock Nelson had an incredible game offensively there. First Islander to score 4 goals in a game since Kyle Okposo back in 2015. Pozo's a Sabre now. That's how long ago that was. Yeah. Getting back to tonight's game, just the Isles struggled to possess the puck, especially in that first period. They rarely had the puck, and if it wasn't for a bad turnover in the Wild zone, it would have been a 0-0 score as opposed to 1-0 Isles.
Well, also, Semyon Varlamov made his season debut.
That's right.
And again, not a bad performance overall. Like I said, 2 empty netters aren't against him.
Right.
But the third period was where it was decided. Ryan Hartman came up with a 6th goal, and Brandon Duhaime then finally put the Wild ahead.
Only took a couple minutes for the Wild to score.
A little bit of fatigue gotten into the equation here.
I also think, too, again, unlike the Habs game or even Jets game, the Wild really controlled possession of the puck from the start. And they really didn't give the Isles too many opportunities to score. When the Isles did score, it was usually on a breakaway or, potentially on, power play attempt. But, for the Wild, it felt like they were in the driver's seat from the start. Even when they were down, it felt inevitable they were going to tie and eventually take the lead. And it wasn't a bad game by Varlamov. He just wasn't really put in a great position to win it. And the defense, I thought, really didn't show up, which we argue kind of fatigue, not as an excuse, but you look back at that Islanders game. Well, Montreal's really been struggling. They got a lot of key pieces out. They've been really, really bad as of late. So, you kind of understand why the Islanders mopped the floor there. But that game against Winnipeg...
I'll tell you this. The Islanders' record against the Habs has not been great in recent years. I mean, when the Habs came down to the Coliseum, all you had to do was count all the Quebec plates in the parking lot. The Habs fans would make the trip down. And, of course, there'd be tour buses, too, loading up the parking lot. So, basically, they expected the Habs to beat up on the Islanders, and they usually did.
Right. Just for the Isles, though, there's one thing I liked was, up until really tonight, was the offense. Because even against a good defensive team like the Jets, the Isles were in control, I thought, offensively for a lot of the game. And Ilya Sorokin was really critical to keeping the puck out of the net for the several opportunities the Jets did get. And ultimately, Brock Nelson was able to find the back of the net yesterday. And Parisi, he didn't score yesterday, but he was still all over the ice, and I think scored today. And Wallstrom looked like he could potentially be a right-winger 1 for the Isles. But at the same time, for this Isles team, they want to see that, that step up in the offense for them, as well as just continue to play good defensively. And I think the best positive, besides the 4 points they get from this road trip this week, is that they're inching closer to playing in front of their home fans for the first time this season.
Okay, so...
God, talk Rangers, don't we? Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Tomorrow
night, a Band-Aid.
Tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden will be rocking because the Rangers will be facing the hottest team in the NHL.
Oh, boy. That's what they need right now. All right, let's get the positives out the way. Adam Fox re-signed 7-year, 9.5 average year against, second highest in team history. That's about where the highs ended this week for them. They sucked for the past couple games. That Calgary game in particular. We'll sum up the Calgary game right now. They lost 6-0. They had no defense. The Flames mopped the floor with them again. The one bright side, Adam Fox scored a goal, and then it got overturned. That's where the fun ends. They got embarrassed by Connor McDavid, which everyone does, but still embarrassed by him.
Oh, yeah, you see that goal?
Through the defense like Swiss cheese to tie the game after the Rangers blow a 4-1 lead.
He went through 5 defenders.
I get it. Connor McDavid is Connor McDavid, so he's going to do that. He's straight out of a video game. That's not true, because I play the EA NHL video game. It's very fun, but you can do the stuff in the video game he does in real life. I tried. Again, I'm not the best at that game, but seriously, you try to do some of the moves there, you can't do it. The game just glitches out on you, and he finds a way to somehow just control the puck and just fake everyone out and sneak a shot past Georgiev, who didn't have the best night on Friday. But what can you do with the defense who's not even there to protect you and probably make Henrik Lundqvist turn over in his grave, even though he was at the MSG desk recapping the game? He probably got PTSD watching the Rangers blow a 4-1 lead by having no defense. Or you go back to Wednesday and the fact that they were up 2-0 till midway through the third period against the Canucks and not only gave up 2 goals, but had 3 different chances to close out the game, get the lead back, and ended up missing completely and striking out. Rangers are lucky they got 2 points on this road trip because they played horrible defensively.
So they come home and they may run into a buzzsaw because the Florida Panthers are 10-0-1 in their first 11 games.
That's right, yeah. The one loss, as you said, overtime loss, and they just beat, I think, the other best team, if I recall correctly, right? They beat the Hurricanes?
I believe they have, yes. Well, the one shutout loss.
They ended the Hurricanes' hot streak. Well, not really ended the hot streak for the Hurricanes, but they won 5-2 yesterday. They ended Carolina's incredible 9-0 run, which was unseen since the Habs did it back in 2015. This Florida team, as you said, one overtime loss, the hottest team. It's not going to be fun for Rangers fans.
So we have that to look forward to tomorrow night.